Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We are going to read your tarot cards today. Guys, these are weekly general messages. Not everything I say will resonate with you all out there, especially every week. So please come into it with an open heart and an open mind. If it's not your message, don't be offended. Assume it's going out to someone else who needs to hear it. That being said, I hope something in this is very profound, powerful, helpful to you in some way. That is my goal. All right, so we're going to start you off with some oracle cards and we'll hop into the tarot. So this one actually came out in Cancer's reading. Keep your thoughts positive. So not a bad way to start off your reading, unless it's saying brace yourself. I'm just kidding. All right, keep your thoughts positive and also embrace your inner divine goddess. So love yourself, respect yourself, right? Pretty straightforward messages. And bottom of your deck says, today holds unlimited possibilities to see the beauty in life. This actually really does, with those three cards, it really is appreciating the small things in life, the little everyday things that life has to offer you, rather than constantly living in this state of one day I'll be happy if I have this, or if I don't do that, or if I remove this. That's fine to have goals, by all means, right? But if you're too future-oriented, you may be, not appreciating what it is around you, lacking gratitude for living in the moment. But also it can suffocate your sense of optimism if it's like you're always one step away from what you want. Appreciate all that you have now and think of a time when maybe you didn't have that in your life, and it makes it that much more significant and important to you. All right, let's hop into the tarot. Weekly messages. What is the best thing I can advise Leo on, or share a story, a message that the universe wants Leo to hear? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stay with me, deck. Stay with me. Here we go. One more shuffle and we'll split the deck. Leo. My Leo gang, how are you guys? I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Ooh, there's an offer being made, but you're not sure you want to take it. So this could be a romantic offer or a job offer. We'll see what comes in, but I sense that it's not necessarily that you're suspicious in it seems too good to be true. I think the mere fact that it's being shown with Pentacles says to me, overall, this seems pretty good. It seems pretty solid. Now, there could be a multitude of reasons why you're suspicious of it. Maybe you just don't want it. Maybe you're not sure it's the right time or place. Maybe it involves changing something in your life. You would, have to move in order to take the job. So let's see if I can get a little bit more on this. Some of you, I suppose it could be, is it too good to be true? But if that's the case, I immediately want to jump to this card saying, well, keep your thoughts positive. What if it really is that good? Hey, Leo, that's a great message to start off with. Unlimited possibilities. Okay, instantly, just based on your oracle cards, that tells me a lot now that I look at this. This could be an opportunity that forces you to be a little bit courageous and step up and maybe some new territory, some new terrain that you maybe feel like a little, what is that something about your footing? It's not quite stable, or there's something where it's not quite familiar or comfortable, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it if it feels like it's your passion, if you're calling, if it feels like it's your calling. I actually feel like there's a lot of good energy tied to this offer. So it's saying don't cloud your judgment with, well, what if, and like fear-based things. Imagine all the good things, all the positive things it could bring to your life. And is it in alignment with who you are and what you want? If that's the case, I think you should highly consider taking this offer. And only you know what is right for you. Look for the signs. Look for the 1111 on your clock if you're into numerology, or whatever your signs are, right? For some of you, maybe seeing a specific color or hearing a certain name or hearing a certain song on the radio. Look for signs like that are leading you in any sense of direction, giving you some sort of advice or guidance about this. I feel like you always know it's a good sign when it makes you smile. Like, oh, I heard that and it felt like a message from the divine. It was. You should pay attention to that. Look for the signs and synchronicities. A lot of you are going to take flight or transform something major in your life. The symbolism of butterflies. Look for butterflies even. That may be a message for some of you. All right, tell me a little bit more. Let's get into, what do I need to ask about this? Tell me more about the offer. What is this offer? It's divinely guided. It could be something coming from a Sagittarius. It could be a career involving teaching or anything in the health field or medical, nursing, spirituality. It's something to do with almost like angel work, light work. Some of you, you're going to get offered a job to work in a certain company or industry. And it might be something you've been researching for quite a long time. And the more I dig into this, I do sort of think it seems too good to be true, and I'm not trying to overhype this reading by any means, but it's like, it was always fun to dream and think about it, but then when it's actually there in real life and someone's like, sign on the dotted line, you seem to have a lot of trepidations. And I'll be honest, this isn't a personal attack, but a lot of it I think has to do with fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of transforming, fear of what will be. And just to ease your mind, that's very common. You're a human being. Of course you're going to have that. The mere fact that you're filtering it through the logic brain and not just acting impulsively or on emotions, that in itself is very good. But I almost think because this is the first card out the deck, it's great that you're being very analytical and like dissecting it, but make sure you're understanding all the positive things it can bring when you're doing that kind of analysis of, well, am I going to take it? Am I going to go out with this person? Stuff like that. Some of you may be moving. Tell me a little bit more. I think this was I don't mean to oversell these. That's never my intention. Like, I am here for authentic messages, be it good or bad. There is something about your prayers are being answered. It's like your angel guide, your God, source, spirit, universe, whatever you believe in, Leo. There's something about the divine is extending an offer to you. I'm almost hearing like we want to work with you. So it may come in the form of like a recruiter reaching out to you for a job. See? Wheel of Fortune. I think this is good. I think this is fated. I think it was destiny. And keep in mind, I'm a tarot reader who believes in free will, but there has been a message too that when you feel called towards something, when an opportunity presents itself, you best jump on it, right? I understand you are always going to have trepidations of, well, what if it's the wrong choice, but what if it's the right choice? In this very particular scenario, I'm loving this too, King of Cups, a big offer that would make you very happy. It would make you feel very fulfilled. It would nourish you, right? The idea of drinking water when you're dehydrated. I lost my train of thought. This is what happens when I look at too many cards. What was I about to say? Crap. Anyway, balancing the negative and positive thoughts. When an opportunity presents itself, I would jump on it because, I of course am speaking from my personal viewpoint, right? I'm one tarot reader out of 1,000, but I've done this for a bit, and I can confidently say for most people out there, in the long term, it does help to jump on opportunities rather than living in regret of not taking them. I think a lot of people out there, when you really kind of get to the nuts and bolts of the matter, would you rather take this job and essentially find out that, oh, you know what, it's not what I thought it was going to be? That in itself, it's a good opportunity. It's a good experience for growth. Whereas questioning something in every little detail about, well, this doesn't seem to work out, or what about this? Again, balance logic and intuition. Are you using your logic to validate the emotions you're feeling, but are the emotions you're feeling real, if that makes sense? If you're feeling fear, is there a logical reason why you should be, scared? Are you scared of this? Why you're afraid of this, or why you're contemplative, right? This is not a bad card. As I said, the fact that you're thinking it through is great, but don't let it stunt your growth. Don't let it become a prison sentence of thoughts that you can't really find your way out of. The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Cups, this could also be a romantic offer. Some of you may be getting proposed to, especially from a Sagittarius or a Scorpio. Some of you are just simply being asked out, right? It's a romantic offer sometimes with cups are involved, and it's someone who's like, they're legitimately interested in you, right? Let's see. So this person, has had their eye on you, but they had to take care of something first before they could move forward with an offer. So this could be a job you applied to several weeks or months ago and never heard back from. Do you see how the sun is dawning or on the horizon in the background? To me, it's like, this is a positive message, so hear me out. They were keeping you warm. They were keeping you on the back burner. It's not because they had other romantic suitors, for most of you. That's not the main message that came out. It's like if they were going to come and ask you out, they didn't want to do it at a time where they were swamped at work, because I really love this message. It's like they wanted to be present. If they're going to ask you out to dinner, or this or that, or whatever you guys are going to do, Netflix and chill, I don't care. They wanted to physically be there and mentally be there. They didn't want to make half-hearted, lackluster offers to you and not be able to back it up with validity, validation, that's not the word, legitimacy, I think is what I'm saying. I dig this person's energy. They're very... There's a great sense of peace and balance and harmony. My phone is going off and it's driving me nuts. I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it to interrupt my reading. Sorry, my bad, Leo. I'm just going to silence it. Sorry. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to be hearing it the whole time and it'll drive me nuts. Okay, here we go. So, all right. So, the Tower and the Death card, this is a major, major period of transformation. The first message I'm getting from this is move forward and don't look back. In a sense, it's like, don't even second guess yourself. If something was stripped away or taken from you or something fell apart, rather than looking at it as quite literally a death sentence, look at it as a period of transformation, that it was fated, it was meant to be. If some of you were stuck in a rut romantically, in a relationship, in a job, in an unhealthy family dynamic, divine intervention has a lot to do with the Tower card, but it doesn't have to be destruction or chaos or, terrifying things. It can be, but it's not always, especially because this card has a lot to do with Mars energy, planet Mars, which ultimately, yes, it's anger and aggression, but Mars is also sexuality. Mars is passion. Mars is channeling the more masculine energy of your personality, whether you're male or female, right? And because we are in Aries season, Aries is a zodiac sign ruled by planet Mars, of course we're going to be feeling this excitement, this initiation, this spark, this motivation to start a new chapter. I really, truly think that transformation also is very symbolic of the butterfly, the idea of the caterpillar to the chrysalis, to the cocoon, I'm probably messing up the order, but, let's just say caterpillar to the butterfly. Change is awkward and uncomfortable, but it's so beautiful when you get to the end of that process. And I would even argue the process in between is beautiful as well, if you choose to view it that way. And it seems like a lot of you are in that transitional state where you're like, I have this new opportunity, but it's kind of weird and I feel uncomfortable, but I also see a lot of benefit in it. That's what I mean. It's like you're meant to emerge as the butterfly, so it's a little bit uncomfortable in the cocoon, but it's meant to be to get you out of there, to almost rebirth you into the world. That's exactly what this is. This is about transformation. And again, just the idea of keep your thoughts positive, embrace your inner divine goddess, listen to your intuition, look for the signs. The world is full of unlimited possibilities. See the beauty in life. This is all what you make of it. You could look at these cards and be like, oh my God, who died? That's not how I read these cards at all. I look at this like, oh, okay, Leo clearly is ready for a transformation. So if they're having trepidation or stalling their growth as a spiritual being, universe is going to give them a gentle nudge to initiate that action into this new chapter. And these go right in order, right? So even if you are experiencing a little bit of, I'm hearing turbulence, maybe you're on an airplane, right? Metaphors, right? Metaphors. Even if there is a little bit of, oh, this is uncomfortable and whatever. I moved to this new city and I don't know anyone. I don't even know where to get groceries. I don't know who to call to turn my electricity on. Little things that, again, you can make them out to be these monsters, or you can understand this is a transition. I will find my balance. I will find my footing. Temperance is about easy does it. Take a breath at a time, and also this is promoting a sense of wellness, wellness in your being, your mind, body, and spirit. There may be things that rattle you, but the extent to which they rattle you rests entirely in your hands. How much are you going to let it impact your internal balance? Scorpio and Sagittarius are showing up, so again, cuspy signs. Some of you may literally be working as a grievance counselor or something to do with helping people with loss, or interesting, it could even be weight loss, right? The idea of loss or transformation in a more spiritual sense, or a profession involving wellness. Does that make sense? The idea of getting rid of something, or it could be addiction issues. I know this is very specific and not for all of you, but these cards are just there's a lot of metaphor to them. There's a lot of kind of substance to them. Some of you may end up dating someone who's like a firefighter. I know that's completely random, but that sounds kind of hot. That sounds kind of sexy. All right. I understand your trepidation because this is big. This is really new. This is really different. You might be out of your territory or feeling like a fish out of water. Is that reason enough to not take it? And you know the answer to that. I mean, based on the cards, I really dig this. I really like it. But again, you hold the power to make these decisions. You are the authority of your own life. You have agency to choose what you want. So if you don't choose it, ultimately, and this is a tough love message, you have no one to blame but yourself. But same goes for if you do take this and all of a sudden you're like, I don't like this, I'm out of my depth. Again, who chose it, right? It's weighing out, your priorities. Are you more inclined to stay in the comfort zone, even if it means life is going to be stagnant for a bit longer? You can choose to do that. You have free will. Or is it worth taking a leap of faith, a risk where, you know what, we're really going to shake things up, but that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means there's going to be periods in life where you kind of have to guess at doing it because you've never done this before. Go for it. Go for it. That's really what I'm getting. Go and brave. This is all about bravery and confidence. The Knight of Swords can be very impulsive, but it's almost like, and I do like this, so I hope this comes across in the way I'm describing it, but Knights always bring change and movement into our life. So if you're asking me, is it time to change? Well, there's the Knight, right? What is he changing? His thoughts, his ideas, his perception, his communication regarding something. Maybe it's what he's communicating to himself. I know that sounds a little hippy-dippy, but isn't that true? If you're constantly like, I don't know if I can do this. He's like, fuck yeah, I can do this, right? And I would even argue too with the Page versus the Knight, which one trumps? This one, right? He's acting, yes, maybe impulsively, but he's very confident and bold and brave. There is no looking back for him because he moves on impulse, but he's doing it through the filter of his own logic. And maybe I would offer some of you may be getting lost in logic, but is it your truth? Is it your logic? Are you asking the people around you to weigh in and now you're like, oh, well, I don't know, because guaranteed the people who love you most in life are not always going to be the ones who are like, go. Try it, especially if it's family, right? And I'm not saying that your family is low vibing or manipulative, but more or less, I mean, I think when you think about this, depending on your circumstance, if it's between, I don't know, let's say your parents or whatever, like preferring you to stay close to them versus, moving to a new country, how can they not give you some sense of where they're at emotionally regarding your decision, right? And again, that's not negative or positive. It's just simply one option, one piece of information to consider, but it doesn't mean it's going to be your choice. And I'm going to move away from that because I know that not all of you relate to that message. Some of you seem to be very independent, and maybe it could even be the opposite. Maybe you're not asking for enough advice or opinions, but I just don't want that to bleed into your inner truth. If you are asking for outside advice or guidance, which you are watching a tarot reading, right? So here's one. You do ultimately always need to honor your intuition because that will always be right for you. And again, intuition, we can get it confused with fear, but fear essentially is, I don't want to say this. Your intuition doesn't keep you stuck. Your intuition says, go. This is going to be good for you. It's not going to be comfortable, but you know what? You're going to be the butterfly at the end of this process. The universe wants you to grow. It's like spread your wings. I'm hearing, what is that Christmas song or Christmas movie? Clarence, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. If your phone just dinged, that was a sign. If your phone just went ding, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. I think you're meant to take flight. I think you're meant to grow. I think you're meant to soar. I think you're meant to, again, guys, this doesn't have to be literal, like travel. This means, going into an unknown territory, even if that unknown territory is, a few miles away from your backyard, it's good to do something that makes you uncomfortable. Yeah, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, but again, this is saying the swords are not channeling messages from the universe, aka it's not your intuition that's keeping you stuck. It's your own false thoughts or beliefs about yourself. It could just be a lack of confidence. Again, it could be taking on other people's opinions as your truth. This feels like a prison sentence. So again, you can stay here. A lot of times you can argue the Eight of Swords is a comfort zone because you've been there so long you don't know the difference, but how comfortable is it really? And you'll never know. Like, the grass is always greener, but until you've seen what's on the other side, you have no comparison to be like, no, I'm more happy here. I don't know. No risk, no reward. Any 8 in tarot indicates liberation, freedom, right? For people who know tarot, think of the 8 of Wands. It's those wands soaring through the air. It's Sagittarian energy, the bows and arrows shooting through the sky. It has a lot to do with flight, travel, movement. This is an 8, so where's the liberation in this card? It's about taking off the blindfold. It's about looking at your space, looking at what's around you and understanding, is this my story anymore? Is this where I want to live and grow and thrive? Is it even possible for me to do so? Maybe it is, but maybe it involves making that one slight change in your life that, again, even if it's not physical travel, it's a big change for you. It's a big transformation to move out from mom and dad's house. It's a big transformation for you to break up with the ex who really doesn't promote any value or like positive influence in your life, right? Whatever this is, we got to understand where it's coming from in order to dissect it and understand, where am I limiting myself and not accepting offers? Where am I blocking my blessings, right? Maybe the universe has been making this offer to you to change and transform for quite some time, but you were at a place where you weren't ready to accept it. And that's fine. This is not me. I'm not throwing shade at you, right? God, I relate to this message, right? This is you almost being very confrontational. Do you see it with that sword? She's almost like, who are you? Keep your distance. Almost like, can I trust this? What does your intuition tell you? Set your intentions with your heart and soul. Forgive someone. Align your intentions with your actions. A lot of you have big dreams to do a lot of wonderful things, but I see you as struggling to make any steps forward in that process. And again, that may have sounded harsh. I'm not saying you're not making any progress, but I just keep getting, inevitably, you know, there's one big step. There's one major change, and I feel like it's been taunting you for at least months now, if not years. And maybe this is the opportunity for the universe saying, hey, I'm going to present you with this for the 12th time. Maybe Leo will take advantage of it this time. I think this tarot reading has said, you know what? You got nothing to lose. What if this time you do choose to take them up on it? And it's funny, as I do these readings, sometimes I feel like I'm hearing your internal thoughts of pushback of like, well, where is this offer? I don't see this offer. Well, what are you doing to earn the offer then? If you really want a new job, but you're staying at your 9 to 5 or whatever, are you applying? Are you networking? Are you on LinkedIn? Because if you're not taking any action, it's not just going to be handed to you. I think a lot of you, in that sense, you've been taking action on getting things that you want or working towards goals, but then when something transpires from that, like the reciprocity of, okay, Leo put in the time and effort to do this, let's give them the offer. That's where you seem to get lost in translation, if you will. Some of you just need to free yourself from the mental prison. You're holding yourself back. And what's great about that is that if you're the one doing it, you are accountable for stopping it, but you are able to stop it too. And I mean, I don't want to brush this off as, easy peasy. Obviously it's not. These swords have been building up a long time. But because they are your own thoughts, you really do have the power and ability to step outside this circle and see things from a new perspective, a higher perspective. And let's just say, right, for argument's sake, maybe this represents someone who's struggling with anxiety or depression. Maybe these swords are this black cloud that's just following them. Again, I'm not saying, just, fix it. No, but you do need to take the steps to address the issue. Okay, I'm struggling with anxiety. Should I speak to someone about that? Can I seek professional help? Is there a medical cure that could help me? Is being outside in nature going to be more helpful to remove those negative thoughts? I'm not saying snap your fingers and it's gone, because obviously this is a challenge. This is an obstacle for you. And it's not about beating yourself up or shaming yourself because of it. It's about seeking more understanding about why you're uncomfortable to take this next step, because within that uncomfortable space, that's where the gems of wisdom lie. Yeah, Leo, I dig this. I think it's really cool. Give me a few more oracle cards on this. Honor your inner child with the death card, right? It's the Knight of Death riding in. Do you see how there's different people in this card? In front of that horse, you can see this woman who's kind of turned her head to it. Like she knows it's coming. She's not fighting it, but she's not addressing it. Then you have this kid who's transfixed on it, right? Down at the bottom, this little boy in blue. He's just like, oh my God, what is that? Like he doesn't know any better. He's just like, that is so cool, right? Then you have this like Pope guy, I think, who's representing the Hierophant, maybe something with a Taurus. He's looking at it, he's addressing it, but he may be addressing it from a more traditional standpoint of good versus evil. I don't think he has it right, and especially because Leo, your fifth house activity, right? You rule the fifth house, has so much to do with children and games and fun and, creative spirit and YOLO, that type of vibe, right? I think in this very specific tarot reading, the child has it right. He's just like, what is this? I'm fascinated. Like, this could be so cool. And like when kids see something for the first time, they're like, what is that? Well, what does it do? And why is it there? I get that that's you, only because you're filtering it through the adult brain. It's a lot of, well, why is this offer coming? And do I deserve it? And am I ready? Like, instead of being like fascinated, it's fear. Keep Keep Feeling Fascination. I'm hearing that song. I love that song. That's a good dance song. It's from the 80s. Human League. Does anyone know that song? Keep Feeling Fascination. I think that's what this is saying. Be curious about it. Be, what is the word I'm looking for? Intrigued. Rather than fear, intrigue is good. And ultimately, I'm going to hammer this point home. You do not have to take this offer, but I'm running out of reasons why you shouldn't. So let me know in the comments below, right? I think it's great when people can interact and offer their own advice and guidance, because maybe you can view this through a totally different lens and be like, here's why I'm not going to take it. That is completely valid, right? Because that's your story. And if you are so certain and that your intuition is saying, no, this is not my offer and here's why, awesome. Like you've settled this for yourself. You can understand it's not my fear. I know why I shouldn't take this, right? So anyway, I encourage you guys to chime in, right? Fascination. Be curious about life. Life is an adventure, you know? Peter Pan. To die will be an awfully big adventure. One more. Oh, too many. Fertility, animals, and willpower. Leo, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what to do with these. I'll show them to you one at a time. Do you have any other animals? No, this is my first animal card that's come out. Maybe you're going to do something in animal healing. Is this big decision about buying a dog? No, I'm just kidding. Fertility. Some of you, it might even be about starting a family. If this, almost like this seed blending cups. Again, that Mars energy about sexuality, especially with your Scorpio or Sagittarius, there may be talks of starting a family. Or even adopting a child, if that makes sense to anyone. You may be like, but what if they don't love me? What if I got like the bad seed? What if, I actually sense that there is a lot of stuff about children here. You may have trepidation about starting a family, but looks like the ground is fertile. I don't know. So those who are struggling with fertility, I would say that that's coming up for a reason. Yeah. And then willpower. Love it. That's a good word for Leo. Willpower. You got this. Confidence. Crush it. You're going to crush it. Act like it's already done. I think that will help you come to terms with it. All right, Leo, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Remember to smash that like button. I would certainly appreciate it. Other than that, I will see you next Tuesday for more tarot. Bye, guys.